Renewing your residency card if you got it within the withdrawal agreement. So for all you British citizens who hold the right to residency, like myself, within the withdrawal agreement that were living here before Brexit, your card could be coming up for renewal very soon. I think there was about 35,000 people actually registered their right to be here within the withdrawal agreement, and we're coming up to that 5-year point. If you want to know the latest about what is happening and how to actually renew your card, then stick around. Okay, then. Right. So, what is happening? Well, first of all, we're seeing a lot of rubbish on Facebook, some scaremongering, in fact, on Facebook, and other social media platforms. And I just wanted to get a video out there. I think this is our third update with withdrawal agreement, and just let you know what we are seeing and what we know, because we're at the forefront of this every single day of what is going to be happening. Well, the first thing is we've got a lot of people going through their renewals now this month. We have had people go through their renewals, and we've got a lot booked up until the end of the year. But anyway, let's start from the beginning for people who haven't seen the other videos that we have done. All right, because they may not be relevant now anyway. So first of all, I'm talking about people who got their residency within the withdrawal agreement. Now, you had the right to residency in one or two ways. Okay, first of all, you had the right to residency in Spain within withdrawal agreement if you previously had one of these cards. Here we go. So this is basically an EU registration of an EU citizen, like what we know as the EU residency card. Okay, for anybody who's from the EU. And that is what you would have got if you came to live in Spain as a British citizen before Brexit, and around before June time, you would have been given one of these residency cards. And that basically declares your right within the withdrawal agreement to live in Spain. We'll come on to what you should have done with that card in a minute. Most people who came, well, all people who came July onwards, there was a change in the law when Boris Johnson basically said that he would no longer extend the withdrawal agreement. Then basic national immigration law kicked in for people who are moving to Spain, and they had to declare their right within the withdrawal agreement through the sub-delegations of the government in Spain to be approved. And if you declared that right and you got approved, then you would have received something like this. So this is a resolution. This one's actually from Granada, and I got this one up for you because it actually states on there. You can see that this was approved, emitido de conformidad con el artículo 18,4 del acuerdo de retirada. Okay, so that is what would have declared your right in Spain within the withdrawal agreement to stay here. On both accounts, whether you had the green card first, okay, or whether you got a resolution from the government after around July 2025, you should have either exchanged your green card or taken the resolution and gone to the police station, or they call it the comisaria, and got yourself one of these, a TIE card. All right. So now everybody who is a beneficiary of the withdrawal agreement, albeit that they got a green card first, then exchanged it for a TIE card, or they got a resolution and then they took that resolution to the police and then exchange that resolution for a TIE card. So basically that was what you had to do. So I'm just messing about with my screen here. You should always have a TIE card if you're a beneficiary of the withdrawal agreement. More so deviating slightly from the subject because this was announced today when I'm recording the video. I'm not too sure when I'm going to get it out from the British government that change made to their information about Spanish residents. British residents in Spain should apply for a TIE card to be exempt from the European Entry and Exit System EEES. Green certificates will not be recognised. Well, the honest truth is, if you still have a green certificate and you're a beneficiary of the withdrawal agreement, you have not yet exchanged it, where have you been? There's so much advice. There are some people giving not the best advice in the world, saying it doesn't matter, you don't have to do it. Since day one, it's always been good advice to get your TIE card because this was always going to happen. Okay, then. So now we've ascertained who are beneficiaries of the withdrawal agreement, and now you've got to renew your card. Well, what's happened? First of all, people who had the green card first, that means that you have had residency in Spain for longer than 5 years. Okay, albeit your TIE card would have been dated from the date that you actually exchanged it. So, say, for example, you had residency in 2019 on your green card, you then exchanged your card in 2021 for a TIE card. It's quite possible that your current TIE card will have an expiry date of 2026. All right. Now, up until now, in some police stations, it's been possible to go in and actually exchange your card early. All right. And get your permanent one before your current TIE card expires because you have had residency status for more than 5 years. Right. We've done an awful lot around various police stations up and down Malaga and a couple outside of Malaga as well. But there's a big change. There's a big change. Now we've been informed in Alicante, it's no longer possible for previous green card holders to update their cards to permanent ones early. They're going to have to wait until the expiry on the card. Okay, we had one of our translators, Julie, she confirmed this in one of the stations in Alicante. They'd already had a notification saying, no longer will you be doing permanent early switches. We then confirmed that here in Malaga, in stations like Fuengirola. We confirmed it in Vélez Malaga, also Marbella. And it looks like across the board, they're no longer going to be doing early exchanges for previous green card holders. All right. I think this is probably an attempt just to make sure that the people who really need the appointments actually get them. Funnily enough, we are still managing to pass them through Malaga Capital. At the moment, we have a very good relationship with those guys over there, and we are managing to get them through. I'm pretty sure that tap will be shut or that river will run dry at some point, and we will find out the first time they turn around and say no. But until then, we're still booking in appointments and attempting to get the early exchanges done in Malaga here in the capital. So if you're still looking to do an early exchange, get in contact with us. We can try, but we know at one moment they're going to say no. At the moment, that's good. But that is the only station that I know at the moment that can do the early exchanges, and we're pretty sure at some point they're actually going to turn around and say no as well. They can do it. They can do it. It's a case of they have to cancel your old card and then issue a new one, which automatically comes out as a 10-year card. But at the moment, it looks like that is going to stop. And now for the big news for people who didn't have a green card before. Now, you guys are coming up to your renewals, and you would have got, as I said, a resolution. All right, so you would have got a resolution which looked very much like the one I showed early on. Where are we here? Let's get it again. It would have come through directly to you from the government after you made your application, quite possibly on the Mercurial platform, or maybe for a representative, and then you would have gone with that to register your TIE card, and that TIE card will now be coming up for renewal. Now, the first piece of false information that I've seen out there is that you can start to renew it 60 or 30 days before the expiry of your card. We've now confirmed across the board with all the police stations that you can't do that. You have to wait until the card actually expires and you reach that 5-year residency point for you to be able to get your permanent card after that. So you actually have to wait until your card expires. After that point, you have 90 days to then go and renew your card. Excuse me while I look at my notes here. There we go. Yeah. So you have to wait until your card expires. There's no way of doing it before. If you do it before, then you'll automatically issued with a temporary residency card. And no, you have to wait until it expires. And that's what all the commissariats that we work in have been telling us. Now, as for the availability of appointments, there's a big panic about the availability of the appointments so far. Okay, here in Malaga, albeit they're extremely scattered, you can only get them at a certain amount of time, certain times during the day. There still seems to be appointments available, but just to let you know that now, it's July the 8th. We have already booked for September. Suddenly this week we saw some open for July. There were some last minute appointments and they're closed down again. So you really got to keep your eye on the appointment booking system if you want to get yourself a appointment for close, as near as damn it as to when your card actually expires. In terms of the documents which are now required, well, first of all, before I tell you that, I'm just going to ask you something. If you wouldn't mind just subscribing to our channel, we have, I'm going to put this up for you here. Check it out. So here we go. Put it there and push it over here. So for you guys who are watching now, if you're not subscribed, it's absolutely free. Only 50% of the people that watch our channel actually subscribe. So, you know, get yourselves subscribed, please, and see if we can push ourselves to 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And also, if you want to book us a call to talk about getting your withdrawal agreement with renewal through us here in Malaga, or non-lucrative Bs, or any of the services you see on our website, book a call there. Which already running a little bit late in July. We have got calls in August as well. Okay, then let's crack on now, because you've all subscribed. For those of you who haven't been subscribed before, with what the requirements are. Okay, so your card is running out, say on the 1st of August. You've booked an appointment for the 2nd of August, and you need to go to the police station. Well, you are going to need to take with you a few things, aren't you? So this is something that we organize, don't forget, for all of our clients. So the first thing you need to do is you're going to need a Modelo EX23, which is the application form for all withdrawal agreements. Well, for your renewals, that is. And I've seen a lot of rubbish online as well about the commissariats insisting that people have EX17s, which isn't the correct document for this. We have never had this. I've never had this, never seen it, never had a problem with an EX23 ever. And we quite possibly have someone in a commissariat somewhere doing something every day of the week. So EX23, then you need a Modelo 790. It's the 790-012, which is the, oh, hang on a minute, I better check it is the 012, isn't it? That's right. Here we go. Double check that for you. Make sure I am telling you right. So I don't do the application forms, can't you? I will check that for you. Yes, it is. Of course it is. The 790-012, the €12 payment. Now, here in Malaga, it's €12. We got reports back from Alicante. They were telling everybody to do the renewal tax, which I believe was 19.40, but it is €12. It's the withdrawal agreement EU tax of €12. But we will confirm to you the Alicante cost as soon as we've had it confirmed to us and the appointments start this month. But here in Malaga, it's definitely €12. You're also going to need to take along with you your passport, your old TIE card. If you have changed or updated your address, a padron dated within the last 90 days. And you're also going to need to take a carnet size photo. If you don't know what a carnet size photo is, then below I will put a link to an article from our website which explains exactly what it is. Luckily enough, most police stations or commissarias which do this operation have a photo booth or a photo shop opposite. What you have to be careful of is if you do have an appointment in the afternoon, you can't always guarantee that those photo shops will be open. And the last biggie, what have we got here going on? Yes, just checking my notes out here. I actually wrote a script for this one, but then when I write a script, I have to stop to read it, which isn't, I don't normally write scripts. At the moment, there's no requirement for private healthcare, public healthcare, or any means to live when you're doing your renewal. You just go straight in with the aforementioned documents and you can get your renewal. Once you've handed in all your documents, you'll be given your card back normally, so you can keep it until you come to get your new one, and you'll be given a document which looks like this. This is called a resguardo de solicitud o renovación de tarjeta de extranjero. This is proof that you have renewed your card. You should check the details rigorously on that when they give it back to you, because that is the details that will be on your card when they produce it, normally in around 30 days. Once you've gone through that process, going back to the private healthcare and the excuse me, means to live. Let me just frog in my throat. Currently, they are not requesting private healthcare or any form of economics to prove how you support yourself in Spain. Now, I also don't think they will do. And the reason I don't think they will do was after a conversation, and we know I had with one of the people behind the desk who works doing this, saying, well, look, if they started asking for this, then they'd have to change the whole process. The applications would have to go through the subdelegation of the government, like they did the first time for the resolution people, not for the green card people, for the resolution people, to be approved. And then they would have to go to the desk to get the TIE card, because the guys behind the desk on the TIE card, for the TIE card, are not trained to assess healthcare and income requirements. They would have to completely destructure it how it is set up right now. So I don't think they're suddenly going to change their mind and send everybody to the subdelegation of the government to have everything assessed, which means an initial application, as we thought the case might be right at the beginning of this. It's just going to be a case of going and swapping your card. I think it's going to be easy and simple. So yeah, we will give you an update and let you know when we've got the first one through over the line. What we do know is in Granada, we actually a year ago did a couple, and the process worked as explained in this video, because in Granada they gave people shorter resolutions because they went on the padron date as their first date of being a resident rather than a date they submitted, like every other provincia in Spain. So there we go. That is your withdrawal agreement update. If you are looking to update your card and don't want to go through the hassle, and you're here in Malaga, drop us a line on this video, or you can book a call there. You can email us at youtube@upsticks.es, and we'll be more than happy to help. My advice would be get on the list as soon as possible. We've got a list of everybody that we're booking in, and every day we're there checking out which boots fit when it comes to the appointments. Well, many thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, please put them below. Don't forget that we have a weekly update every Thursday at 6 o'clock, and a lot of the questions which are asked on the videos, I'll then bring them up and answer them there live, or you can just join in and also ask questions there. So we'll see you soon with the next video.